SUVs have become super popular over the last 5 years, but they're also becoming super expensive. So here's our list of the 10 SUVs which offer you the best value for money, starting with the cheapest. Who would have thought that a Volkswagen would be the cheapest on this list? But the Volkswagen Taos, Volkswagen's cheapest and smallest SUV, doesn't fail to impress with its surprisingly good interior space, peppy engine options, and even the fact that it's available with launch control. Now, speaking of engine options and launch control, this baby Volkswagen SUV Little is actually one of the faster models in its class. It's powered by a 1.5-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine that puts out a respectable 158 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque, more than the comparable Hyundai Kona's 147 horsepower. The Taos compact 1.5-liter engine will get you to 60 miles an hour in a surprisingly quick 7.8 seconds if you use launch control, a feature you might not expect on an SUV in this class. The Taos also impresses with its drivetrain variability, being offered in both front-wheel and all-wheel drive configurations, but with different suspensions and transmissions. The less expensive front-wheel drive model is equipped with an 8-speed automatic transmission and a torsion beam suspension setup. If you opt for the all-wheel drive version, you'll get a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic and a more sophisticated multi-link suspension. You'll be pleasantly surprised by the little Taos interior, as it seems way bigger than you'd expect and pretty comfortable too. It has 27.9 cubic feet of cargo space behind the rear seats alone, which extends to 66 with the seats folded flat. By comparison, the Subaru Crosstrek features only 20.8 cubic feet of space behind those rear seats, and that extends to only 55.3 when you fold down the second row. Rear passengers of the Taos get 37.9 inches of legroom, which is very similar to the larger and more expensive Tiguan. For this class of SUV, you're looking at the Hyundai Kona, Honda HR-V, and Nissan Kicks, among others, so it won't be a massive surprise to hear the Volkswagen Taos is the top of the list when it comes to the quality of the interior. The front seats are really comfortable, and they're available in cloth, leatherette, or leather upholstery, with heating and ventilation as optional. Opting for some of these upgrades will cost a little more, but would definitely make your Taos more premium. The Taos certainly feels modern, coming equipped with a fully digital gauge cluster, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and a 6.5-inch touchscreen infotainment system as standard. If tech is your thing, then you can upgrade to an 8-inch version, an 8-speaker Beats audio stereo, customizable ambient lighting, wireless charging, 8-way power driver's seat, and even a panoramic sunroof. But honestly, you don't need all of these. The variety of safety features makes the Taos even more appealing, with the list including forward collision warning, adaptive cruise control with lane centering, automated emergency braking, blind spot monitoring, and rear cross-traffic alert. Next on the list is the Mazda CX-30, which starts at $26,400. The first thing you'll notice about the CX-30 is its stylish exterior, which is arguably best in its class. Now, while this subcompact SUV's appearance is unchanged from the 2023 model, that's perfectly fine, as Mazda have struck the perfect balance of making it look sporty, elegant, and premium. The CX-30 is available in a total of 8 different trim levels. Yes, 8, with the most popular option being the Preferred, which starts at around $30,000. Most specs are available with Mazda's 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine that produces a rather tempting 191 horsepower. However, if you prefer a little more spice in your chili, a turbocharged 250 horsepower version is optional. When it comes to driving dynamics, the CX-30 definitely stands out from the crowd with its refined feel, sharp steering, and great 6-speed automatic transmission that doesn't leave you feeling disappointed. The CX-30 will likely remind you of the Mazda 3. After all, it's basically the same car on stilts. For the interior, the CX-30 is similar to the Mazda 3. The infotainment screen pops up from the middle of the dashboard, and the climate control buttons are placed on the lower dash panel. You control the 8.8-inch infotainment display from a rotary dial on the center console. Even the CX-30's base trim is pretty gorgeous when it comes to standard features. You get all-wheel drive, LED headlights, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto integration, and several driver aids. These include forward collision mitigation, lane keeping assistance, adaptive cruise control, drowsy driver monitor, and automatic high beams. The CX-30 also has a 5-star safety rating from the NHTSA. The CX-30 is a fantastic choice and a great value for money, especially if you go for the optional turbocharged variant, which will get you to 60 miles an hour in just 5.8 seconds, quick enough to make a Golf GTI panic. Moving on, the Honda HR-V deserves a place on this list, with its starting price of just $26,450. The new HR-V comes with a stylish and modern design that allows you to quickly forget about some of the monstrosities that Honda used to produce. But it's not just the exterior design that Honda's put a lot of thought into. The interior cabin is great too. It feels modern, classy, and offers plenty of room. The front seats are both supportive and comfy while offering great adjustability options. In addition to being spacious for both drivers and passengers, especially compared to rivals like the Hyundai Kona or Kia Seltos, the HR-V offers a substantial list of standard and optional features, including 7 or 9-inch touchscreen infotainment system, wireless smartphone charging pad, and internal Wi-Fi hotspot. Producing 158 horsepower, the HR-V's 2-liter 4-cylinder engine is borrowed from the base model of the Civic. When compared with the Mazda CX-30, the HR-V's engine option, of which there's only one, does lack a bit of oomph. But this really just highlights the strengths of the CX-30, rather than highlighting any weakness of the HR-V. It's still enough to allow you to zip around town, just don't expect to win any drag races along the way. The new Tucson has become increasingly popular with a starting price just shy of $29,000. Its spacious cabin, variety of powertrains, and attractive price point make it a great option in this segment. If you thought the CX-30 offered a lot of trim levels, then you better take a seat because the Tucson is available in 10 different trims, with prices ranging from $29,000 to about $38,000 for the top limited trim. The Tucson offers you a 187 horsepower, 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission and a choice of front or all-wheel drive. This version is not the fastest, but the all-wheel drive version will get you to 60 miles an hour in 8.8 seconds. There are also hybrid and plug-in hybrid versions that deliver better fuel economy and a little more power. The hybrid variant gives you 226 horsepower, while the PHEV delivers a more intriguing 261 horsepower, whilst both have the same 258 pound-feet of torque. Another strength of the Tucson is the 6-speed automatic transmission, which takes care of business and will make you grateful to Hyundai for not fitting a CVT in there like many manufacturers do with their hybrids. The Tucson also performs well in its class when it comes to storage space, offering you 38.7 cubic feet of space behind those rear seats and 74.8 with the seats folded down. This is almost exactly the same as the more expensive Honda CR-V. When it comes to tech, the Tucson offers some great features, particularly in the higher spec trims. This list includes Hyundai Digital Key, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, Bose premium audio system, and a 10.25-inch infotainment screen that's fairly easy to navigate. You might be starting to think that the latest Tucson isn't that different to last year's model, but Hyundai has brought you some new safety features. This includes lane keeping assist and blind spot monitoring systems, all occupant seatbelt reminders, rear side airbags, and steering wheel haptic feedback to alert the driver to warnings from the lane keeping assist and blind spot monitoring systems. The SEL variant offers you the best value for money when balancing features with price. But it's worth noting that even with the hybrid variants, driving enthusiasts searching for a sporty SUV will likely get more joy from competitors like the Mazda CX-5 or the BMW X1, both of which are more expensive though. This list just simply wouldn't be complete without the Honda CR-V, and at $29,500, it grabs the 4th spot. Its new makeover gives it a handsome look with a stronger road presence when compared to previous versions. But this isn't the only thing that makes it an appealing option. In addition to Honda's long-standing reputation for reliability, the new CR-V provides you with impressive build quality and a range of great driver assist features. These include a multi-angle rear-view camera, driver attention monitor, and traffic sign recognition. Moving on to the powertrain, the new CR-V comes available with 2 engine options. The first one being a 1.5-liter turbocharged inline-4 engine that pumps out a surprisingly high 190 horsepower and 179 pound-feet of torque. This first option is great for most buyers, providing an adequate blend of fuel efficiency and performance suitable for daily driving. The second option is a 2-liter inline-4 engine with a dual-motor hybrid system. This one pumps out a slightly higher 204 horsepower and a significantly higher 247 pound-feet of torque. This is a greener option, and the extra torque will provide that extra oomph needed when putting your foot down. Both engine options are mated with a CVT transmission and are available with front-wheel or all-wheel drive. Now, some Hondas of the past had interiors that were far from special, but the new CR-V has certainly bridged that gap. The surprisingly pleasant interior features a honeycomb textured insert, which dominates the dash and seamlessly hides the air vents in front of you. According to Honda, the new front seats have been designed to decrease fatigue on longer trips. So in layman's terms, they're more comfortable than before, which is definitely a win. Cargo capacity is reasonable with 39 cubic feet of space behind the second row seats, with the adjustable floor in its lowest setting, equaling the Hyundai Tucson and beating the Volkswagen Tiguan. Speaking of the Tiguan, it earns its place on the list too, with a starting price of $29,855. Now, the first thing that you may notice about the new Tiguan is exactly that. It's all new. With the new redesigned exterior, you'll immediately notice that Volkswagen have ditched the sharper edges of the previous model and gone for the rounder look, in keeping with the latest design language. Now, whilst I feel that the previous model looked great, this one doesn't look bad either, with the rear still looking mean and the front giving vibes of a baby Touareg. The latest Tiguan rides on Volkswagen's MQB platform and offers a plug-in hybrid powertrain option that's quoted to do 62 miles on electric power only. However, rest assured that this isn't the option. The 1.5-liter TSI engine is available and offers up to 148 horsepower, and it's around 650 pounds lighter than the PHEV version. The 2-liter TSI variant is also available for those who enjoy more spirited driving. With 262 horsepower available, you'll be hitting 60 miles an hour in less than 6 seconds. Volkswagen's 2-liter version features a dual-clutch automatic mated to an all-wheel drive system, giving the Tiguan a towing capacity of more than 5,000 pounds. Moving on to the interior, where the new Tiguan exceeds expectations, offering you more than enough comfort for journeys of all distances. The modern design makes it feel premium without being overwhelming. The dash is centered around a 12.9-inch infotainment screen, or an optional 15-inch screen, which frankly feels unnecessary, both of which are angled towards the driver for better usability. This is definitely a great option for those who want to find a balance of premium and price. Next up is the poor man's Land Rover Defender. Yes, that's right, it's the new Hyundai Santa Fe, starting at $33,000. I've got to start with the exterior on this one. Hyundai have given the Santa Fe a well-needed makeover with a squared shape and modern lines. It's one of the better-looking SUVs in its class. It incorporates Hyundai's latest design language, featuring the single headlight bar running across the front grille. The bottom line is, it looks fantastic and way better than any Hyundai SUV of the past. But that's not all that's new. The Santa Fe also features an all-new interior, showcasing Hyundai's pursuit to premiumize the brand. Inside, you'll find a surprisingly premium cabin featuring a continued theme of squared design, following from the exterior, an absence of cheap plastics, and the use of nicer materials such as piano black and leather. The previous Santa Fe's interior was as exciting as watching paint dry, but the latest one is definitely a place you want to be sat in. You won't fail to notice that you'll get two 12-inch screens on the dash, one for the driver display and the other for the infotainment. The infotainment screen is very responsive and won't cause any annoyance once you get around the fact that a fair amount of swiping may be required. As expected, it comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and an endless amount of storage space for your everyday items. Another interesting feature is the new column-mounted gear selector, taking a leaf out of Mercedes' book. Regarding the engine and powertrain, non-hybrid versions of the new Santa Fe will feature a turbocharged 2.5-liter inline-4 engine that produces 277 horsepower and 311 pound-feet of torque. It's not bad, but it's not great either. It's fairly quiet in everyday driving, but it does start to make a bit of racket once you put your foot down. But this has to be expected. The acceleration isn't bad either, getting you to 60 miles per hour in 6.3 seconds, a pretty respectable time for an SUV of this price point, and beating its rival, the Kia Telluride, by half a second. The Santa Fe isn't without some good driver safety features either, with forward collision warning, emergency braking, adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning, and lane keeping assist all coming as standard. Hyundai offers an impressive powertrain warranty of 10 years or 100,000 miles, which is just another reason to consider buying one. Much like the Honda CR-V from earlier, the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid was always going to be featured on this list. With a starting price of just over $33,000, it's a little more expensive than the Honda, but you do get a lot of value for your money. Starting with the interior, whilst there are a few differences between the hybrid version and the non-hybrid version, it's important to remember that it is still a Toyota, and that function and practicality are prioritized over style. But this also doesn't mean that it's an unpleasant place to sit. You'll find there's an abundance of useful storage bins and cubbies to help declutter the vehicle from your possessions. You'll be grateful for Toyota's no-nonsense approach, as all of the controls are easy to find and use, making life less stressful both when driving and stationary. Up front, you'll find the infotainment screen, of which you can choose from either an 8-inch or a 10.5-inch display. It's not the best example of an infotainment screen, but it offers everything you need and brings you Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Wi-Fi hotspot also comes as standard. Under the hood, you'll find a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine paired with 2 electric motors for a total output of 219 horsepower, 15 horsepower more than the Honda CR-V. Standard all-wheel drive and a CVT transmission help complete the ensemble. The RAV4 Hybrid is not just a workhorse, it's also a reasonably quick compact SUV, which can get you to 60 miles per hour in around 7.3 seconds. If this isn't enough, the plug-in hybrid RAV4 Prime brings you extra oomph from some more powerful electric motors for a total of 302 horsepower. That'll get you from 0 to 60 in just about 5.6 seconds, almost 2 seconds faster than the standard hybrid. The Prime version packs a nice 18.1 kilowatt-hour battery that also gets you an EPA estimated electric-only range of about 42 miles. Moving up the ladder, we have the BMW X1, which starts at around $41,500. Now, I know you might not associate BMW with value for money, as they're actually more expensive than some of the rivals, such as the Volkswagen and Toyota, but the value they bring is normally a level above. First of which is the all-new sporty exterior. Like many of the SUVs on this list, the new X1 has also been given a makeover, and frankly, it looks better. BMW has really capitalized on the sharpness and made the new X1 look really sporty. Even the base models, but particularly for the M35i model. The standard model, the xDrive 28i model, offers a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, which produces 241 horsepower, a juicy amount for a smaller SUV, similar to the Volvo XC40. It should also get you to 60 miles an hour in under 6 seconds. However, the M35i model brings 312 horsepower and competes with the Mercedes GLB35, getting you to 60 miles per hour in 4.7 seconds. For the interior, the X1 sports a futuristic design that includes such features as a floating center console, a toggle switch shift lever, and an all-digital dashboard. Designer elements pepper the cabin, including textured speaker grills and available eucalyptus open-pore wood trim. All models come with ambient interior lighting, dual-zone automatic climate control, and a power liftgate. If you're looking to make your X1 even more luxurious, then heated front seats, panoramic sunroof, and a heated steering wheel are all options. The M35i model is awesome, but we'd recommend going for the xDrive 28i model, as it offers plenty of performance but at a lower price. Now for this next SUV, we're using the same argument again. It's not cheap, but it offers huge value for money. When it comes to feeling premium, the GLC is arguably the winner of its class, thanks to its luxurious and modern interior, but also the multiple body style options. Unlike many of the SUVs on this list, you can buy the regular shaped GLC or go for the coupe version for a more sporty look and feel. Whichever style you opt for, the powertrain options are the same. The GLC 300 uses a velvety smooth 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, combined with a 48-volt hybrid system that helps boost the powertrain to a respectable 255 horsepower. Now, whilst the 9-speed automatic transmission is standard, you do get a choice between the standard rear-wheel drive or the optional Mercedes 4MATIC all-wheel drive system. The 4MATIC version will get you to 60 miles per hour in around 5.5 seconds, marginally faster than the equivalent BMW X3 xDrive 30i. Fuel economy isn't a huge issue either. If you take the rear-wheel drive version, you'll be able to hit 33 miles per gallon on the highway. Not bad for an SUV with over 250 horsepower. Mercedes has been known for producing great interiors for a long time now, and with every generation, they somehow improve on the last. The same has happened with this latest GLC. Once inside, you'll immediately be engrossed in a world full of premium tranquility, with upgraded materials, endless smooth curved styling throughout, and ambient lighting to help create the perfect vibe for your journey. There's also an array of tech features available. This list includes a 12.3-inch digital gauge display for the driver and an 11.9-inch infotainment touchscreen that uses Mercedes' latest MBUX setup and curves upwards from the center console, making you feel like you're inside a spaceship. In addition to the standard wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, the infotainment software can also detect voice commands. For those music lovers out there, our Burmester premium stereo system is an option, as is a heads-up display. The GLC is a great option if your budget is a little higher, but every SUV on this list offers great value for money in their own way.